No, you're the only one that wants to go outside.
We are taking basically daily short assessments to check your comprehension. You will get points for these. You will need to make them up if you miss. Should take today Besuch 30 to 40. And it asks you first, where do Il and Claire go to reminisce? Konrad's Weilerwald, Il's house, Goldenen Apostel, oder der Bahnhof. Wald is a forest. Number 2 asks you, where was Claire when she met her first husband? Was she in Berliner Flughafen, in ein Hamburger Bordell, in Gulen, or in ein Café in Paris? Numero 3 asks, what is noteworthy about Claire's hand? Is it that she is incredibly strong? It is prosthetic. It shows scars from her years of hard labor, or it is shorter than the other hand. And number 4, does Il seem content with his current situation based on what he tells Claire? Do you remember what he tells Claire? I don't mind if you work together on this. 30 to 40.
I remember hearing a lot about the Golden Apostle. I think that they want to be a very private place.
That's the time.
For what? Where did she meet?
Was it Paris?
No,
Oh, you're right.
no, they did not.
Yeah.
Where was it?
For Krista, hey, remember I told you my grandpa threw me up one leg? I found a picture of it, and I'm sitting on it.
His leg or the real one?
I'll show you.
All right, Kirsten, we are taking a minute to take the quiz called Besuch 30 to 40, while Hannah takes a picture of the ceiling and part of her forehead. Okay. In a moment, we will start reading. We need to get some ground covered, and this is a very important part of the piece. So remote learners will be listening to us read through. We're starting on page 42, Seite 2 und 40.
Yeah, I got it right.
One leg. And then.
Okay. So on this quick PDF that I shared, we're right around where the Burgermeister is going to start a long speech at the bottom of 42. Let me see if I can find. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the role of Burgermeister just to keep things moving along. As far as highlights of yesterday, Were there any, what stuck out?
Divorce.
Yeah.
There's a car murder joke.
There's a coffin. Is there a strange animal that's been brought to school?
Yeah.
Oh, the
An
panther.
actual Black Panther.
There was a deer. That
There
one
was,
less
yeah,
important,
there
but
was a deer.
Wait.
She's giving them money to.
Maybe, we think.
What do we think?
Ill confessed his love.
Yeah,
She's gonna murder someone.
probably.
That's just how-
There's enough foreshadowing that I don't, enough hints being dropped there that I don't think I'm really spoiling anything by pointing that out.
Did she ask if
Hashtag
they've
girl
ever
boss.
strangled anyone?
The gymnast,
Yeah.
what she asked the doctor.
He was like,
Have you,
How do you get like a death certificate?
Yeah.
How do you fill it out?
yeah. What she asked let's see, oh, reading last rites, right?
She has somebody got a copy.
So Burgermeister is about to start a speech at the Golden Apostle. It's one of our scenes. It's the hotel in town. And der Burgermeister says, gnädige Frau, which they refer to her often. Merciful lady. Mercy is gnädige. Gnädige Frau. Merciful lady. What is mercy?
like the word.
Yeah, what does mercy mean? Yes, it is. Why would you name a hospital Mercy?
Because it means like asking like, I don't know, forgiveness, immediacy.
Whether you deserve it or not. Mercy. Merciful lady. Meine lieben Gulner, es sind jetzt 45 Jahre her, dass sie unser Städtchen verlassen haben, welches von Körpers und Hasso dem Noblen gegründet, so freundlich zwischen den Konradsweiler Wald und der Niederung von Punkenried gebetet liegt. So he's using a lot of poetic language. Merciful lady, my beloved Gulners. It's been 45 years since this woman has left our little town that the Archduke Hasso, the noble, founded. So friendly between the Konradsweiler forest and the valley of the Punkenried. 45 Jahre, mehr als 4 Jahrzehnte, more than 4 decades, eine Menge Zeit, a long time. Vieles hat sich inzwischen ereignet, viel Bitteres. So much has happened, much tragic. Or bitter. Traurig ist es der Welt ergangen. Traurig uns. Sad, the world has become. Sad for us. Doch haben wir sie, gnädige Frau, unsere Clary. And we have applause. Go ahead. Yeah. So, but we have you, our Claire, nie vergessen, never forgotten. Weder sie noch ihre Familie, not you nor your family. Die prächtige, urgesunde Mutter, your splendid, healthy mother, who is not, die ganz in ihrer Ära aufging, that went in her prime. Ill flüstert ihn etwas zu. Leider, allzu früh entschwunden, who disappeared all too early. Der volksstürmliche Vater, the folkloristic father, der beim Bahnhof ein vor Fachkreisen und Laien stark besucht ist, who was visited by both experts and laymen. And Ill flüstert ihm etwas zu, he kind of whispers something to him. Stark beachtetes Gebäude errichtete, leben im Gedanken noch unter uns als unsere besten wackersten. So he erected several strongly built buildings that we still remember as our best. Und gar sie, gnädige Frau, als blonde, and you are merciful lady as a blonde, and they'll whisper something. Rotgelockter, or red-haired, Wildfang, Tolten sie durch unsere nun leider verlotterten Gassen, who wildly pranced through our neglected alleys. Wer kannte sie nicht? Who didn't know you? Schon damals spürte jeder den Zauber ihre Persönlichkeit. Already then, everyone could foresee the magic of your personality. Ante den kommenden Aufstieg zu der schwindelnden Höhe der Menschheit. And your coming rise to the dizzying heights of humanity. Sieht das Notebüchlein hervor. He opens up his notebook. Unvergessen sind sie geblieben. You have not been forgotten. In der Tat, ihre Leistung in der Schule wird noch jetzt von der Lehrerschaft als Vorbild hingestellt. Waren sie doch besonders im wichtigsten Fach erstaunlich. In der Pflanzen- und Tierkunde als Ausdruck ihres Mitgefühls zu allem Kreaturlichen, Schutzbedürftigen. He's basically saying you are still being used as an example for students in school on because of your care that you gave to both animals and plants in class. This is all a lie. She was satisfactory in just those subjects and failed everything else, right? The political arm of the town is spinning the facts in order to present a glowing picture of their guest that they do not want anything from, right? They expect nothing. Falsch. Ihre Gerechtigkeitsliebe, her love of justice, und ihr Sinn für Wohltätigkeit, and her sense of charity, erregte schon damals die Bewunderung weiter Kreise, earned the admiration of further circles. And there's a huge applause. Yeah, go ahead. Yay! Hatte doch unser Kari einen armen Witwe Nahrung verschafft, indem sie mit ihrem mühsam bei Nachbarn verdient Taschengeld Kartoffeln kaufte und sie so vor dem Hungertod bewahrte. He's now telling a story about how he observed Clary keep a secured food for a dying widow, and she used her own money, her own pocket money, to buy potatoes for her to keep her from starvation. That is also a lie. Nur eine ihrer heitzigen Handlung zu erwähnen, in order to, barmherzigen Handlung zu erwähnen. Reisiger Beifall, gnädige Frau, liebe Gunnar, die zarten Keime so erfreulicher Anlagen haben sich den nun kräftig entwickelt. Aus dem rotlocketen Wildfang wurde eine Dame, die die Welt mit ihrer Wohltätigkeit überschützte. Man denke nur an ihre Sozialwerke, an ihre Muttersanatorien und Suppenanstalten, an ihre Künstlerhilfe und Kindergrippe und so möchte der nun Heimgefundenen zu rufen, sie lebe hoch, hoch, hoch. Whew. All right, so he's going on to finish his speech by saying all of the great accomplishments she has done, all of the kind and tender seeds she has sown, the powerful things she has founded, including her social works like mothers' homes, soup kitchens, nurseries, artist colonies, and so forth. To her, we cry, hip, hip, hurrah. Whew. Clara gets to her feet. And Clara says,
It's not a bad voice.
you're doing great. You do you.
Ik vaartsvaar etwas anderes Kind als ik nun in der Rede des Bürgermeisters vorkomme. I'm just gonna talk in normal voice. In der Schule würde ich geprügelt und ich Kartoffeln für die Witwe Boll habe ich gestohlen, gemeinsam mit ihr, nicht die alte Kupplerin vor dem Hungertote zu bewahren, sondern mit ihr einmal in einem Bett zu liegen, weil es bequemer war als im Konradweiler Wald oder ich der Peterschen Scheune. Jedoch meinen Beitrag an eure Freude zu leisten, will ich gleich erklären, dass ich bereit bin, Gulen eine Milliarde zu schenken. 500 Millionen der Stadt und 500 Millionen verteilt auf alle Familien.
And eine Milliarde. And Clara says,
Unter einer Bedingung.
unter einer Bedingung. Catch that? Clara is clearing up some of the facts. Your selfless joy over my visit touches me, she says. I was indeed a different sort of child. And in the speech of the mayor, I need to maybe clear up a few facts. In school, I was bullied and fought my way through. In the potatoes I stole for the widow, together with Il, not in order to keep her from dying, but rather so that Il and I could, for once, lie in a bed together where it was more comfortable than in the forest or in the barn. Jeder Beitrag, every contribution to your joy, I want to make sure is clear that I am prepared to offer Gulen 1 billion marks or dollars or whatever currency you want. I'm sure a billion is a lot of it. 500 Millionen der Stadt, 500 million to the city, 500 Millionen verteilt auf alle Familien. 500 million divided among all the families. Unter einer Bedingung. Under one condition. Il says,
Clara, Goldig, wunderbar, zum Pogen. Pogen. Wo und ganz meins.
Zauberhexchen.
Zauberhexchen.
He kisses her.
Okay.
Gold, wonderful, my jewel, always and forever, my little sorceress. Unter einer Bedingung, haben gnädige Frau gesagt. Darf ich diese Bedingung wissen? Can we hear it?
Ich will die Bedingung nennen.
I want to say it.
Ich gebe euch 1 Milliarde und kaufe mir dafür die Gerechtigkeit.
Ich gebe euch 1 Milliarde und kaufe mir dafür die Gerechtigkeit. What's she going to buy? Wie ist dies zu verstehen, gnädige Frau? What do you mean by this?
Wie ich es sagte.
Just what I said. Die Gerechtigkeit kann man doch nicht kaufen.
Man kann alles kaufen.
Ich verstehe immer noch nicht.
Schritt 4, Bobby.
So, you can't buy Gerechtigkeit. What is Gerechtigkeit? Justice. Clara says, man kann alles kaufen. What's that?
You can buy anything.
You can buy anything. I don't understand. Clara says, Tritt for Bobby. And Bobby says, I don't know if you all recognize me. Der Lehrer says,
What does that mean? They're Oberrichter Hofer.
the former Chief Justice Hofer.
Richtig, der Oberrichter Hofer. Ich war vor 45 Jahren Oberrichter in Gulen und kam dann ins Kaufiger Appellationgericht. Bis mir waren nur 25 Jahren Frau Sakanasien das Angebot machen, als Butler in ihre Dienste zu treten. Ich habe angenommen, eine für einen how do you say that? Akademiker?
Yeah.
Akademiker vielleicht etwas seltsam Karriere. Doch die Angebot in Besuch war derart fantastisch.
Comes in full, Bobby.
Good. So, who is the butler? Former Chief Justice Hofer. And 45 years ago, Bobby was the head of the appeals court in Gulen. And until just after that, Frau Zakanasian made him an offer to become a butler in her service. I took it. For an academic, maybe that was a strange career move, but the pay was fantastic. And Claire says, "Komm zur Fall, Bobby. Get to the point." Der Butler.
Wie ihr vernommen habt, betreibt Frau Claire Sakanatian 1 Milliarde und will dafür Gerechtigkeit. Mit anderen Worten, Frau Claire Sakanatian betreibt 1 Milliarde, wenn ihr das direkt wieder gut macht, dass Frau Sakanatian in Gulden angetan würde. Herr Ill, darf ich bitten?
Herr Ill darf ich bitten. So, like you have learned, Frau Zakanazian offered $1 billion and wants justice. In other words, Frau Zakanazian is offering $1 billion in order to a misjustice, to make a misjustice again good. That Frau Zakanazian and that was done to Frau Zakanazian in Gulen. Herr Ill, may I ask that you come forward? He is pale and a little startled. Ill says, "What do you want from me?"
Sprechen Sie vor, Herr Ill.
Step forward. He steps forward. He laughs a little uneasily and shrugs his shoulders.
Es war im Jahre
1910.
1910. Ich war Oberrichter in Gulen und hatte eine Erschaft beklagt, zu behandeln. Claire Sakanatian, damals Clara Bascher, klagte sie Herr Ill an, der Vater ihres Kindes zu sein.
So, here we go. It was the year 1910. I was the Chief Justice in Gulen, and I had a paternity case to handle. Claire, at that time, Clara Vescher, sued Herr Ill in order to prove that he was the father of her child. Ill is silent. Der Butler.
Sie beschließen damals die Wirtschaft, Herr Ill. Sie hatten zwei Siegen mitgebracht.
You disputed the claims for paternity, and you brought forward 2 witnesses. Ill says, that's an old story. I was young and imprudent. Clara says,
Oh, you're Kobe and Loby war Toby and Roby.
"Bring forward Kobe and Loby, Toby and Roby. Die beiden Kaugummi-kauenden Monster führen die beiden blinden Eunuchen, die sich fröhlich an der Hand halten in der Mitte der Bühne." So the 2 chewing gum chewing monsters lead forward the 2 blind eunuchs. What, pray tell, is a eunuch?
It's castrated human man.
Castrated man. What does that mean? Are we all on the same page? Snip, snip. And die beiden say together, Charlie,
Wait.
do it again.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
You've been retired.
Stella.
We're on the spot. We're on the spot. Der Butler says,
Erkennen Sie die beiden, Herr Ill?
"Do you recognize these 2, Mr. Ill?" Ill is silent.
Kobe und Lobi. Kobe und Lobi.
Ill says, "Biden,
Wir haben uns verraten.
we have changed." Der Butler,
Nennt Ihre Namen.
tell your names. Ersta, that can be you, Brendan. What? No, this is Ersta Zweite from these 2.
Oh,
It's the same people talking. This is
Jakob Hulein, Jakob Hulein.
Zweite,
Ludwig Spar.
der Butler.
Nun, Herr Ill.
Die,
Ich weiß nichts von ihnen.
don't know him. Der Butler.
Jakob Hunlein und Ludwig Spar. Kennt ihr Herrn Ill?
But-
Blond.
Butler.
Kennt ihr in seiner Stimme?
Do you recognize his voice?
On Sire Stima. On Sire Stima.
On his voice, on his voice. Butler says,
19, wait, how do I say it again?
1910
1910 war ich der Richter und ihr die Zeugen. Was habt ihr geschworen? Ludwigs war und Jakob Hundman vor dem Gericht zu wollen.
1910 was I was the judge and you were the witnesses. What did you swear, Ludwig Spar and Jacob Hoodline, in front of the court?
Wir hatten mit Clara geschlafen. Wir hatten mit Clara geschlafen.
They did what? Slept with Claire. Der Butler.
So habt ihr vor mir geschworen, vor dem Gericht vor Gott, war dies die Wahrheit.
So you swore in front of the court, in front of God. Was this the truth?
Wir haben falsch geschworen. Wir haben falsch geschworen.
Did they tell the truth? Warum?
Warum Ludwig Spar und Jakob Hundman?
Go ahead.
Il hat uns bestochen. Il hat uns bestochen.
Bestoken is to bribe. With what?
Mit einem Lederschnaps. Mit einem Lederschnaps.
Clara.
Erzählt nun, was ich mit euch getan habe, Kobe und Lobi.
Tell now what I did to you, Kobe and Lobi. Tell it.
Die Dame weiß uns suchen. Die Dame weiß uns suchen.
She tracked us down. She tracked us down.
So ist es Claire's Gymnasium weiß suchen in der ganzen Welt. Jakob Hundlein war nach Kanada ausgewandert und Ludwig war aus Australien. Aber sie found you.
Oik.
Euch. Was hat sie dann mit euch getan?
So ist es. Claire tracked you down. In the whole world, Jacob had moved to Canada and Ludwig to Australia, but she found you. What did she do with you?
Sie gab uns Tobi und Robi.
She gave us to Toby and Roby.
I have to take a moment to say that I thought that Toby and Roby were blind and there was only two people this entire time.
No,
Like until this conversation.
Toby and Roby are the gangsters from Manhattan, and Kobe and Loby are the two blind
I was
units.
really confused with this conversation.
Clear it up a little bit. She gave us to Toby and Roby.
Und was haben Toby and Roby mit you gemacht?
And what did they do?
Kastiert und gebleidet. Kastiert und gebleidet.
Castrated and blinded.
Dies ist die Geschichte ein Richter, ein Anwärter, wie Volkswagen ein Vorteil im Jahre 1910 ist es nicht so planieren.
So this is the story. A judge, an accused, two false witnesses, a miscarriage of justice in the year 1910. Isn't that true, witnesses? Clara stands up. Ill stamped auf den Boden. He's upset and he stomps on the ground and says,
Verjagt. Alles verjagt. Eine alte, verrückte Geschichte.
old story. Yeah, this is it's all gone by. An old crazy story. Der Butler.
Was geschah mit deinem Kind verlieren?
What happened to the child?
Es lebte ein Jahr.
It lived 1 year.
Was geschah mit einem?
What happened to you?
Ich wurde eine Dirne.
I became a prostitute.
Beschau.
Why?
Das Urteil des Gerichts machte mich dazu.
The judgment of the court made me do it.
Und nun wollen sie Gerechtigkeit organisieren.
And now you would like justice?
Ich kann sie mir leisten. Eine Milliarde für Gulen, wenn jemand Alfred Ill tötet.
I knew it. I knew it.
What's the deal? I can afford it. $1 billion for Gulen when someone kills Alfred Ill.
Nice.
Dead silent.
Good. Girl boss moment.
Frau Ill says, Freddy, and flings into his arms. Il says,
Sommerhechen, das kannst du doch nicht fordern. Das Leben ging doch langs weiter.
you can't ask that. Life goes on.
Das Leben geht weiter, aber ich habe nichts vergessen, Il. Weder die Schonungsweierwald noch die Petersche Scheune, weder die Schlafkammer der Witwe wohl noch deinen Verrat. Nun sind wir alt geworden, beide. Du verkommen und ich van der Messer der
Chirurgian.
Chirurgien zerfleischt und jetzt will ich, dass wir abrechnen beide. Du hast dein Leben gewählt und mich in das meine gezwungen. Du wolltest, dass die Zeit aufgehoben werde, eben im Wald unserer Jugend, wohl von Vergänglichkeit. Nun habe ich sie aufgehoben und nun will ich Gerechtigkeit für 1 Milliarde.
Gerechtigkeit für 1 Milliarde. So, life went on, but I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten the forest nor the barn. I've not forgotten the bedroom of the widow bull, and I've not forgotten your betrayal. Only we have gotten older, both of us. You, ruin, and I, from the knife of the surgeon, cut to bits. And now I want to settle up. You got to choose your life, and mine was forced on me. You wanted to turn back time. Just now in the forest of our youth. Full from the transition. Now I have offered to settle up, and now I want justice. Justice for 1 billion. The mayor stands up, pale yet dignified. Frau Sakanasian, noch sind wir in Europa. Noch sind wir keine Heiden. Ich lehne im Namen der Stadt Buhlen das Angebot ab. Im Namen der Menschlichkeit. Lieber bleiben wir arm, den Blut befleckt. All right. So, Frau Sakanasian, we are in Europe. We are no savages. I turn, in the name of the city of Gulen, I turn your offer down. In the name of humanity, we would rather stay poor than have blood on our hands. And there's applause. Go ahead. And Claire says,
Ich warte.
Ich warte. All what? I'll wait. And
Sassy, I like it.
see.
Oh,
Like to act. We still got 7 minutes and we can't spare a single one. Thoughts?
I support him. I would like, I would like banish him from the town of Newell. I wouldn't murder him, but I support him.
45 years ago.
I support him.
It's only
It's 45 years ago.
Not to mention the people
I
who
don't
had
think
false
so.
testifies were tortured.
I don't think that he should be able to just live without paying repercussion for everything that he did. And I don't think that he should be able to go and tell her that he loves her again when he did that to her and then forced her out. So I'm okay with her feelings here.
What?
Acon City.
Mm-mm.
Acon has like, how much is it like? It was like $3 billion or something to build a town. Futuristic city in Senegal, and then he got funding for a second one.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anyone live there?
That's kind of big news.
No, there's like pictures of the plans of it. It looks insane.
This isn't like a Pride Festival sort of thing
No,
happening
it's gonna be like Dubai and Senegal.
Senegal.
in Senegal. All right. Das Städtchen nur angedeutet. The city comes in to outline. Im Hintergrund das Hotel zum Goldenen Apostel. In the background, we have the hotel. We also see a balcony. Rex eine Inschrift, Alfredale Hamlung. We also to the right see a sign that says Alfredale General Store. Darunter ein schmutziger Ladentisch. We see a shabby little shop table. Behind that, a shelf with old goods. Wenn jemand durch die fingierte Ladentour kommt, tönt eine dünne Glocke. We hear a bell ring every time someone comes in. Links, we see a sign that says Polizei. Darunter ein Holztisch mit einem Telefon. We see a table with a phone. Zwei Stühle, two tables. Es ist morgen. It's morning. Roby and Toby tragen von links Kaugummi kauender Kränze. They are chewing gum while bringing in more wreaths and flowers, wie zu einer Beerdigung, as if they're going to a funeral. Il schaut ihnen durchs Fenster zu. Il's looking through the window. Seine Tochter fegt auf den Knien den Boden. She is scrubbing or sweeping the floor on her knees. Sein Sohn, Alfred's son, steckt eine Zigarette in den Mund, puts a cigarette in his mouth, and Il says, Kranza. So, Lucas, would you please be der Sohn? Wir sind auf 51. Ja, bitte.
Jeden Morgen bringen sie die Baumbacher.
Every morning, they bring these in from the train station. Caitlin, would you be the doctor?
Yeah.
Il says, Ferdane,
Für den leeren Sarg in goldenen Apostel.
for the empty coffin in the Golden Apostle.
Rupert, niemand ein.
Das Station stays zu mir.
It scares no one. The city stands by me. Il says,
Kommt die Mutter zum Frühstück?
is mom coming to breakfast?
Die Flieger oben. Die neue Mutter.
She's upstairs. She's tired. Il says,
Eine gute Mutter hat ihr Kinder. Ich muss es einmal sagen. Eine gute Mutter. Sie soll oben bleiben. Sie soll miteinander. Das haben wir schon lange nicht getan. Ich stifte Eier und einen Büchse amerikanischen Chicken. Wir wollen es Fudel haben. Wie in den guten Seiten als nach die Platz an der Sonne. Gute Flirte.
so you have a good mother, you children. I need to really say it. A really good mother. She should stay upstairs and she should get her beauty rest. We'll have breakfast together. We haven't done that in a while. I've prepared, I suggest eggs and a tin of American ham. We will have it like feudal times, like in the good old days when the factories were flourishing. Der Sohn sagt,
Du musst mich entschuldigen.
you'll have to excuse me, and he puts out his cigarette. Il says,
Du willst nichts mit uns essen, Frau?
you don't want to eat with us? Der Sohn,
Ich gehe zum Bacher. Ein Arbeiter ist krank.
where's he going? Yeah, work at the train station.
Die brauchen vielleicht Ersatz.
They might need a temporary help. Il says,
Bahnarbeiten der prallen Sonne ist keine Bestrafung für meinen Jungen.
so rail work in the hot sun is no kind of work for my boy. Der Sohn,
Besser einer als keiner.
better one than none. Die Tochter, I gotta go too.
Du auch? So, wollen wenn ich Das Fräulein, Dr. Fragendar.
Where are you going, if I might ask my my young daughter?
Aus Arbeitsstadt. Vielleicht gibt es eine Stelle.
To the work, to unemployment. There might be a position today. And she leaves.
Gute Kinder, brave Kinder.
Yeah, gute Kinder, brave Kinder. Brave is like well behaved. Mutig is brave, but brave is what you would say to someone if they're being a good little boy. Nice children. Von Balkon, hier dringen einige Gitarrentakte. We hear the guitar chords coming from the balcony. And Clara's voice says,
Oh. Reich mir mein linkes Bein herüber, Bobby.
bring me my left leg, please, Bubby. I can't find it.
What?
Verlobungsblumen.
Verlobungsblumen auf der Kommode.
They're behind the wedding flowers on the dresser. Duel kommt der erste Kunde. The first customer comes. And Il says,
Guten Morgen, Hofbayer.
Max, your time to shine.
Cigarette.
Need some smokes. Il says,
Jeden Morgen.
like every morning.
Nicht die Mukta die Brune.
Not those ones. I want the green ones.
Teuer.
They're more expensive.
Schreibens out.
Write them down on my tab.
Weil sie es sind, Hofbayer.
Because it's you,
Und weil wir zusammenhalten müssen.
and because we have to stick together. And the first says,
Das spielt Yemen Guitar.
somebody's playing guitar.
Einer der Gangster aus Sing Sing.
One of those gangsters from Sing Sing. Aus dem Hotel kommen die beiden Blinden, Algorithmen und andere zum Fischen nötigen Tesson tragen. So the two blind eunuchs come out with fishing poles and they say,
Einen schönen Morgen, Alfred. Einen schönen Morgen.
it's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. Il says,
Und der Teufel.
he tells him to go to hell. So we will pick up there tomorrow or Monday. Tschüss, Kirsten.
That's it.